Hello, in honor of International Women's Month, I am joined today by
Adrianne Hillman,
yes, and she was Miss Tulare County
1997.
1997.
A while
So
ago.
a part of the sisterhood. It's really exciting to be joined by her today. And tell us a little bit about your organization, Salt+Light.
So Salt+Light, I founded Salt+Light in 2019, and it's a nonprofit focused on mitigating homelessness and coming beside and cultivating community with our neighbors experiencing homelessness. And we do that through dignified job opportunities, homes. So we are creating a village called the Neighborhood Village in Goshen, where it'll be California's first 100% permanent supportive housing community of its kind. And we'll have wraparound services on site in an effort to cultivate community with our neighbors. So that's kind of what we do. And then you're seeing the food truck behind us. That actually, this is actually our relationship maker. So we go out every day of the week. We serve about 1,200 to 1,500 meals a week to our neighbors in Tulare County. And we cultivate relationship with them through that food and create trust. And then we're able to help really get them the services they need and then up and out of homelessness. So we do that as well.
So what inspired you to start this organization?
So it's interesting because I had actually had no experience with people experiencing homelessness at all. And I happened to be in church and I was listening to a sermon, and it wasn't about homelessness, but I just felt, you hear people say they get a word. I had never had that happen to me before, but I heard this kind of like, you're going to serve the homeless. And I was like, no, I'm not. So really, it was very startling to me. I talked to my husband about it. He's like, well, there is kind of an issue. And this was a long time ago. This was like not that long ago, but in 2016. And I started kind of thinking about it a little more and really thinking, no, this isn't where I'm going. I have a private practice as a life coach and a retreat facilitator and a speaker, writer. I had other things going on. And then I was asked to actually serve on a board, a nonprofit board. Not long after that call came, and it was a nonprofit that were serving people experiencing homelessness, and I thought, well, then there it is. That's actually what I'm going to do. Well, I immediately learned that there were a lot of things happening in the way people were experiencing homelessness, how they were being served, how the community at large was looking at them, and then actually even how the groups that were serving them were doing it, and I felt like it was a really broken system. And so fast forward to 2019, lots of education, lots of tearful nights, and a lot of heartache and hard stuff, and we created Salt+Light, and it's been going ever since. So yeah.
That's amazing. So as we mentioned earlier, you were a former local Miss America title holder.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your story in the organization, what it was like, favorite parts, just an overall glance into your year.
Okay. Yeah, I was Miss Tulare County. It was probably the best, most exciting moment of my life when I won. I had actually won a smaller, like a city pageant the year before, but it wasn't affiliated with Miss America. And really, for me, being Miss Tulare County was just like the thing. I really wanted it badly. I was 18, really young when I ran, and looking back, wish I had been a little bit older, but I had some funny stuff happen the night of the event. I ran against several women who had run before who were just brilliant and beautiful, and I was certain they would win. And the night of the event, my lavalier, where I was for my solo, didn't work. I don't know if it was dead or what happened, but I got on stage and started doing my talent, and there was no mic, so they turned my music down, and I just kept singing, and I didn't stop. And I didn't stop the show. We didn't start over. I just kept singing. And I actually think that might have been what did it. I don't know. The judges said later that my interview was good, but then the talent piece where I just kind of did it afraid, which happens to be a brand that I have trademarked later in life. That's what I did in my life coach days. I did it afraid, and it seemed to pay off. It was a wonderful experience. I learned a lot about caring for others, and about I really honed my interview skills, and learned how to walk better in heels and in a bathing suit. It was just, there were so many things. But the sisterhood was amazing. The women that I ran with were wonderful to me. I was Miss Congeniality that year too, and that was fun. That meant that they voted for me, and that meant a lot. The sisterhood part was the most fun. I went on obviously to run for Miss California as well, and that was the most incredible experience. One of the most incredible experiences of my life. It was just amazing to be on that stage, and yeah, looking back, I wish I'd run again. I wish that I had taken another turn and run again, because I think the organization has so much to offer, and most importantly, it paid for a lot of my college. And that was awesome because I needed the help. I paid for my own college education, and this really was a lift for me. And so it's just one of those things I'm really proud of that I was able to accomplish. And every time I see someone getting crowned, I just get so excited because I know that their life's going to change forever.
So as we look through your life, through Miss Tulare County, your experience as a life coach, and now with Salt+Light, there seems to be a theme of helping others. What advice would you give to somebody who's looking for an outlet in their life to help others?
I would say that in my younger years, wanting to help others, I think, was a lot more about me, and really about me helping others so that I could say I was helping others. And I didn't really have the language for it at the time, but what I've really learned over the course of helping others was to really help others in a way to come beside them instead of being a hand down to them. So really it's about the posture of showing up with people and saying, there you are, instead of here I am. And that's tough because when we're on stage, we are presenting our best selves, and we do want to say here I am because we want the world to say, yes, she's able to represent us really, really well. So here I am is part of the posture that comes along with being a title holder, but it also can kind of change things when you're really truly trying to help people, because it's important when folks who are really in need, they need to be seen and heard and known and loved, and that requires a shift. And so we have to go in and say, there you are. And that helping has actually changed me. Father Greg Boyle from Homeboy Industries says, we go to the margins thinking we're going to change others, and what happens is it changes us. And so I think the helping piece is being open-hearted enough to say, I'm here because I need help too, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
So to wrap up, is there anything else you want to talk about or add or discuss in relation to yourself, Miss America, Salt+Light, or even International Women's Month?
Well, I am a proponent of women. I think women are the strongest, most wonderful being because they've had to overcome so much. We know that the environment we live in used to say, and I'd like to say it doesn't say it anymore, but that's idealistic to say that women are less or women are second, and we aren't. We're stronger. We have lots of grit, and women like you show that, and it makes me super excited to see kind of what's coming for our future. I think women change this world, and I think lifting other women up is really important, and saying there you are to other women, and I know you do that. And I think that we're going to see a real change, I think, in the trajectory of the United States and the world for that matter, as we are continuing to lift women up, empower them, and champion them for really doing the work that should be done to change the world, because when we change the world, we change too, and it just gets better.
Thank you so much for joining me today. You're such an amazing person to talk to, and I can't wait for everybody to hear you and all you have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you so
I appreciate
much.
it. I'm honored.
Thank you for joining us today.